Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Um, I have a playlist called Talks About Life here on YouTube, and I have a lot of little talks I've done on being an effective listener, practicing good boundaries, like you name it, I've talked about it. Um, so now you mostly just hear my advice and my wisdom, I guess you could say, my lumps that I learned from through the years. Now you get to hear that in my Q&As every week. However, I just got a little nudge from God to share about when I was a divine masculine and my what that did for me to choose a karmic, because I know that a lot of divine masculines watch my channel. And just so you guys can understand the other side of the coin, also, you divine feminines who watch. So, just for those of you who don't know, I'll go through a little recap on what I understand about true love. And if you want to go more into this, just go to my playlist about true love and you can check it out. But this story is going to really shed some light on why I got involved in even being a part of this whole true love thing in the first place. So there are, when it comes to like, there are a couple different kinds of true love. Uh, the one that you hear about when you meet and you're 16 years old and you're married for the rest of your life and it's really easy and they're your best friend, that's a soulmate. It's always really easy. And it's wonderful. And there's not usually like a back and forth, running away from each other, coming back together kind of thing. It's usually just like, hey, I've met the person of my life and that's it. And you're set for life with that person. But the other kind of love is kind of like the one that some people call a twin flame, or I call a true love. The other type is a true love too, but like a true love counterpart or a divine counterpart, they have to go through an evolution. It's a spiritual evolution that occurs between these two. And there's like what other people have called a runner and a chaser. So two people meet, um, that have most likely shared past lives where they were very happy, or something's very familiar. And when they meet, they're just super excited. They have that same kind of chemistry, that immediate knowing, and like, wow, you're so incredible. It's almost shocking. It's almost shocking when you meet one of these people, and it's like you fall immediately in love. There's something so different. It's that love at first sight thing. Something is so different about this person, that just really moves your heart. And you see the kid in them and they see the kid in you. And you guys just are like a couple of kids, playing again. Like, yeah, just going back to the days when there weren't all the stuff there is when you're an adult. So sweet and innocent, really pure, very, very pure. I would describe it as that. And it's exciting. And you have that rendezvous for a while, whether you have a relationship or not, doesn't matter. For some of you, you don't even get to meet the person. You just have all these incredible signs and synchronicities that happen after you meet them. So it could be, some of you have celebrity counterparts. I have a couple of those myself, and it's a whole other thing because it's all online and it's all cryptic and strange, and you have to try to figure out the pieces. It's more complicated than the normal situation, but it's very much similar thing happens where basically you meet this person, it's really incredible, you can't believe it, and then it feels too good to be true for the divine masculine because they're very skittish about love. They've been hurt really bad, and all they've known is toxicity, pretty much. So they don't know what to do with something so pure and sweet, and they get scared and they run away from the relationship because they're not ready. They're too immature yet. So, and the divine feminines actually go through their own process of spiritual awakening and learning to get past their own abandonment issues. So I have 2 videos on my website. Once you're a member of my private membership association, you can go in there and look at the videos tab. And one of them is called Stepping into Your Power. That describes the feminine's journey. And that's not a gender thing. It's just the feminines are described as the one that wants the relationship and wants to keep going, but pretty much gets abandoned by the divine masculine. So anyway, the divine masculine's video is called what is it called? Oh, the divine masculine's ultimate test. So the divine masculine, basically, it's kind of like that movie Family Man. The divine masculine ultimately has to choose love over his career or over, the Jezebel. They have to get smart and to realize that if they want something to last the rest of their lives and always be there for them and not go through breakup after breakup after breakup, they have to get past their ego with some things. So they usually have to, get past an age difference, or they live in different countries, or they have different religious beliefs or ways that they look at things that are very different. That makes them have to like evolve or get rid of something that means a lot to them that's egoistic, but they always have to let go of something toxic or something that they thought in the material world was something that they should be proud of and wear almost as a badge. They have to dump that. They have to dump that thing that fed their ego in order to choose their true love, who is kind, compassionate, and loving, and everything they've ever dreamt of that they can't believe they found. So now that you got the picture, I'm going to share my own journey from when I was a divine masculine. Now I'm a divine feminine now because I've evolved and have matured. And I went through my sleeping around stage. And trust me, there was a lot of that back in the day. Going to clubs a lot, meeting lots of guys, and just, I almost wrote a book on dating 100 guys. So, and I don't know, who knows, I still might, but with my memory, I doubt I'd even remember the stories at this point. I wrote a lot of them down, but that's totally beside the point. So I went through all the stuff that the masculines go through. And I met, in Montana, I met a guy named Mo. I called him Mo. He was like, "You're the only person I'm going to let call me that." And he was way too good to be true. It was like walking around with Ashton Kutcher or something, it's like, come on. I felt like I totally felt embarrassed to be with him. He was so good looking, to me anyway. And I just felt so lucky to be with this guy. And I wasn't, now I have to go backwards a little bit as as to how this even happened. Okay. So how sometimes, never mind. I'm not even going to go to that. So here's how we met. I was really trying to get out there, and I was doing my single thing, and I was going dancing and clubbing, and I'd get invited to this and to that. And I wanted to learn salsa. And so I went to this club in Bozeman, and I lived in Livingston, which is about a half hour away. So I went to this club in Bozeman, and I was having like this incredible time. I was having so much fun out there on the dance floor. I love to dance. And this instructor was incredible. He made me look really good. You get somebody who knows how to dance really well, and they'll make you look good, even though you're like not even a great dancer. And although back then I was a better dancer, I think, than I am now. But anyway, gosh, I keep going on these tangents. It's okay. So I'm out on the dance floor, and I'm having just an absolute blast. And I'm alone. And I didn't usually go out alone, but I challenged myself that night. You're going to go out by yourself, and you're going to go take these salsa lessons. And it was like a group thing. It's like you're invited to learn salsa on Thursday nights or whatever. And I'm dancing, and this gorgeous guy, probably 15 years younger than me, was over near the bar drinking and just was kind of lounging back, watching me. And I was like looking around, like, who's he looking at? Who's that cute guy looking at? And I just kept looking around. I was like, he can't be looking at me. And I kept doing that. And then I figured out, I think he is. I think he's looking at me. Why is he looking at me? You know how you do that? And so I was like, well, I'll go over and I'll get a drink. And I went and got a drink. And as I was walking through, he calls to me. He's like, excuse me, will you come over here for a minute? And I just looked at him and I laughed. I said, no. He said, why? You're way too cute and you're way too young. I'm out of here, And he's like, please just give me, I swear to God, you'll be glad you did. Please just sit down for 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. And I'm dead serious right now. I'm not playing with you. And I was like, all right, and I sat down and he said, I or I don't know, we got to, he just was asking me questions about myself and wanted to get to know me and whatnot. And it was really nice and easygoing. It was enjoyable. I was laughing and we were having a really great time. And it was just like I described, like a couple of kids getting together and being all excited to meet. And it was really neat. And then he says, I gotta tell you something, and you might think I'm crazy. So, and so this is the feminine, you guys. You guys will understand this. He was the feminine. So he's more evolved at that point in some ways, not in other ways. But he was like, I got to tell you something, and please don't think I'm crazy, but you probably will. But I can't help it. I have to tell you this. He said, I have a girlfriend and she's at home right now. And I was like, what? What are you doing talking to me? And he's like, just hear me out. Just hear me out. He said, I knew that something was tugging at my heart so bad I couldn't ignore it. It was like God itself, or God himself, told me, go down to that place in particular. He says, and I don't come here all the time. But I was told to come down here tonight and I would meet my soulmate. Now that was the only word he knew. And who knows what he was. Probably, yeah. Yeah, he was definitely like a twin flame or a soul flame or something like that. So yeah, so he tells me that he's got this girlfriend at home, that his family it was pretty much like a prearranged marriage in a way, because they grew up together and they were always told they would be together, like, oh, we can't wait till you guys get married someday, that kind of thing. And he said he did not want to marry her. And he said that he knew that the one that he loved was me. I was like, dude, we just met. He's like, I don't know. I don't care. I don't know how I know this, but I know it in my heart of hearts, at the deepest part of my soul. You are my true love. And I just, I was shocked. And I said, well, then I think you should go home. I think you should go home to your girlfriend. And I think you should forget that you met me. And he goes, that could never happen. That could never happen. I could never forget you. And I said, okay, then I don't, I was like, this is impossible. I said, you probably play video games and smoke pot, And he was like, well, I do, but that's beside the point. I was like, well, I said, I'm into spirituality and I'm into, I'm learning about Qigong and I'm doing all this stuff that's, you would not fit into my world. We would not fit into each other's worlds. And he said, girl, I don't care. There's nothing you can say to convince me that we shouldn't be together. I don't care how different our worlds are. And he says, I promise you this, you set me, go get all your spiritual books and gather them up and you stack them in front of me. And I swear to God, I will read every last one of them to be with you so that we can communicate on your level about your things, And I was like, whoa, like, I can't believe he would do that. You've got to be kidding me. So of course I thought it was way too good to be true. Like way too good to be true, except for the whole girlfriend thing, of course. That wasn't so fun. So we decided that we didn't know, I was like, well, I guess I'm willing to get to know you. I mean, I don't, so we started to talk. We started to like hang out a couple times. And no, I don't encourage people to cheat on each other and stuff like that. So we had certain boundaries, but we did slip up. Um, and he was going to leave her. He was going to be with me and leave her. And I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that he would leave this situation and his entire and like be scorned by his entire family for not being with her and the whole thing just to be with me when he didn't even know me that well. And but that everything about it was just so sweet and so pure and so everything. It was just so amazing, right? So then he ended up like I kept getting on him like, why aren't you leaving her? And it went on for like, I don't know, 2 3 months like that. And so I just kept partying and kept being like, okay, then I guess you're not serious. And I guess it was too good to be true. And I was upset with him that he hadn't left her yet. And he was like, you don't understand. It's so hard. The family, they're putting all this pressure on me, blah, 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 blah. So eventually what happened was I started to date this other guy in Livingston who was right down the street from me. And we hit it off. And he was just like whining and dining and really impressing me. He was taking me out for nice dinners. He was also very attractive. You have to be attracted to somebody. I'm just saying. He was also like, but both of these guys though were like kind of above par, I guess. Like they just you know it like I was just very smitten by both of them, how with their looks. So and this one wasn't my type either. This one had like I was into the dark hair, dark skin kind of thing, like Italian kind of thing, kind of look, and I thought that was my type. This other guy and was blonde, blue eyes, and all that kind of. He looked more like me, and that was not my type. But I thought I'm very attracted though, so I'm going to give this a shot. And he took me out dancing, and we went everywhere, and we went on weekend, road trips, and like it was like a whirlwind. I mean, we were just like the minute we met, we were already dating. It went so fast, and then I get a call from Mo, and Mo says, all right, I left her. I left her and I'd like to move in with you. I was like, I just started dating somebody like a week ago, and maybe it had been like 2 weeks, and I'd given up on Mo because he was taking so long to leave that person. And so I was in it with this other guy, and the other guy was like totally charming me. And what I didn't know or didn't realize, and what also happened, was that Mo never told me that he never told me that he loved me. He really alluded to it. Obviously, he told me I was a soulmate, everything like that, but it wasn't. He didn't like look me in the eyes and say, "I love you. I'm serious about you." Um, and so that went unsaid. He would say, could you meet me and just come have drinks with me? We really need to talk. Like he tried saying that, but he never said, I love you. I want to be with you. Please give us a shot and dump that new guy or whatever. He never fought for me. He didn't tell me how he really, really felt. He just said, I dumped her and I want to move in with you and I want to live there and I want to get a life going there and I want to, but it wasn't like, I don't know. I still doubted it. I thought it was too good to be true. And I thought he was a player. I labeled him a player by then, and he wasn't. And I didn't know. because I was insecure about it. And yeah, so I stayed going out with the other guy. And as it turned out, the other guy was all show, like a typical karmic. You know, I wasn't looking at the red flags, or I made excuses for the red flags. And if there's one thing that I've learned about the karmics, or what you'll tell yourself about the karmics, is you'll tell yourself, oh, they just didn't know any better. You know, if you're having to teach somebody that you're with, like, how to be a good person or how to have morals, they get it. They just don't care. Trust me. You know, and you'll do that for years. Oh, they just don't know any better because they went through this tough thing in their life and they act like this and that to cover it up. And they just, you know, they don't know. They don't know that you should be kind to people. They don't know that you should be, you know, I'm just going to explain it to them. I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just going to, you know, excuse after excuse. But I always wished that Mo would have told me what he really felt like, because I would have picked Mo. I would have totally picked Mo if I would have realized that he was serious. Like, if he was really serious, that he wasn't jerking me around. Because I thought that I had found like everything that checked the boxes with the other guy. You know, he's the guy that I could tell everybody about, and they were super impressed. Super impressed. I mean, he like had the resume and I could check it all off, and he had the stability and the job forever and the house and the truck and he had it all. And he had his stuff together, and he had a really good career, like the whole thing. So I could proudly go around and tell everybody, hey, guess what? My guy is a blah, blah, blah. And he da. You know, so he really looked good on paper. You guys know how that goes with the karmics. But one thing about the karmics is they're incredibly manipulative and charming. They know how to get their way. They know how to totally twist things around. I felt like he was my best friend sometimes, and then the other times he was my very worst nightmare and was just horrible to me. Just absolutely mentally horrible to me. The worst I've ever been treated mentally and verbally. He was just toxic as heck. And I didn't even recognize it or even see it. And because there was that extreme contrast of best friend, da 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 da, and then the mask would come off, and then I'd blah, you know. And about that time, I had a male best friend who was trying to tell me the truth. He was trying to tell me, like, this guy is a total a-hole. Like, he is a jerk. Like, you can't believe him. He's a liar. And I was just like, you're just jealous, you know? And he was like, no, the guy is a total a-hole. And he was like, you know, he's just a pretty boy, and he's just a this and that, and just was calling him all these names, and he saw right through him. And I wouldn't listen to him. And I ended up, my best friend was a physical therapist, and he started working at this like chiropractic office near where I was dating the new guy. And I went in to see him one time, and I saw a file on his desk, and I looked and I said, you know this guy, you know Mo? And he looks at me and he says, you know Mo? And I said, yeah. And he knew him as Morris. He says, you know Morris? He's like, that dude is the coolest dude ever. He is like the most incredible guy I've ever met. And I said, I know. I know. I said, that's my Mo. That's the Mo that I've been talking about for like ages, you know? And he's like, and he just looked like he'd seen a ghost. And he goes, that's your Mo? And I said, yes, that's the guy that was like 15 years younger, and then blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's the one, that's the guy. And he goes, oh my God, you're the Amy. And I said, what do you mean? He said, he and I have become like best friends. We hang out at the bar all the time, and he's always crying over some girl, Amy. And this was about when I was getting engaged, or had just gotten engaged to the new guy. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? But I was like, Mo never told me that he loved me, that he was that serious about me, that he's like, dude, that man is so in love with you. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea how much that man loves you. And he says, he knew you were his soulmate and everything. And so I'm just like, my best friend and my soulmate, my true love, ended up being best friends behind my back that I didn't even know about, and they didn't even know about. Can you believe that twist of fate? But by then I was already getting married. So, of course, I didn't want to go back on that. Stupid. And I went through with this stupid marriage. I got married to the guy, stayed with him for 4 torturous, hell yes, 4 years, moving one place after another. I mean, I had a lot of luxury. I had a good life in a sense. So we had plenty of money, and we lived in some really nice places. And there was the prestige of his work and all of that. The fancy houses with the views and the all of I've lived it up. I lived it up with him, and he was an incredible cook. He was like a gourmet cook. He was really good. He was like Julia Child's good. So there were some really, really great things about it, but the rest was torturous hell. And man, I even had my friends confused as to what was going on, because he's my best friend. Now he's my worst, he's like Freddy Krueger over here. And then he's my best friend. And then he's this, they were like, I don't know what you should do. I don't know what I'd do if I were in that situation, because I had everything too. So, but that's how they get you, they are good actors and actresses, those karmics. But once I finally left that guy, the new guy, um, I looked Mo up, of course, and I was just like all just running, chomping at the bit, like let me at Mo. I want Mo. And I started to look things up online to see if I could find him. Of course, my best friend, the male best friend, of course, the new guy had made me get rid of him. So we couldn't stay friends. And so I couldn't get a hold of him. And when I found out about Mo, I found out that he had died. I found out that he had drove home drunk one night and crashed into a tree. He had met somebody else. I found out since the last time I talked to you guys about this story. He started to date somebody else. But he did drive himself into a tree drunk some night. So I don't know how happy they were. And, anyway, and he did tell me in spirit, because that was a whole crazy thing too. Because once I realized he was dead, of course, I just was destroyed. Like, I'll never find love like that again. Like, that was my one opportunity to find somebody so incredible. And, I was very, very upset. And then it occurred to me, I can talk to dead people. Why don't I try to talk to him? And I started talking to him, and man, oh my gosh, that started like 2 years of incessant conversations with my dead ex-boyfriend. Or almost boyfriend, I guess, with my dead ex true love. And he was so mad at how the other guy had treated me. And he was like, if I had any idea that he would have treated you like that, I would have snagged you up so quick and got you out of there. And, I would have fought for you. And I was like, you never told me how much I meant to you. You said I was your true love, but you never said that, that you love me, or that you wanted a life with me or anything. He's like, I told you I would move in with you. And I was like, but that's not the same. Anyway, so we kind of argued and fought and cried a lot in spirit over, like, I don't know, 2 years. It was really hard getting over him. Really, really hard. For years and years went by. Even I moved out to Boulder and everything, and I was still hooked on him for like a year or two. And I would go to these psychics and they would concur all the same information. They would relay the same information as what he says to me too, or what he said to me. But it came a point where I had to stop talking to him because it was just too painful and we had to just move on. And so we did. And, I rarely talk to him or anything anymore. I mean, I could, but now it's like I don't know. Well, like a sweet friend. I don't know. It doesn't have the same weight that it used to, which is great. So I can move on from that. But that was terrible. But you can imagine going through that whole experience. Why I would, I never dated again. I never dated again, you guys. And that was a really, really long time ago. 2017, 2000. Yeah, something like that, I think. Um, yeah, so it's been a really, really long time since I've even dated anybody because I wasn't going to go through that again. Maybe it was even longer, 2014. I don't know. It was a really long time anyway. Because I didn't want to ever go through that kind of thing again. I didn't want to, none of it. I just was like, I want to know. And thanks to Mo, I was like, I want to know what this whole true love thing is. How do you know what one is? How does it go typically? How does, what is the song and dance? Like, how can you identify one? I want to be with somebody that I can be with for the rest of my life. I don't want to deal with all this fuckery anymore. I don't want to deal with being with somebody who just charms me, lies to me, and is horrible to me once we're together. I don't want to go through that again. So then I learned all about, twin flames and started to help you guys too when I became like an intuitive spiritual teacher at the Lighthouse Bookstore. And well, actually before in Granbury, Texas, I started that path. But I was like known as like a psychic back then. And because I didn't know what else to call myself. I was a psychic and an animal communicator. Those are the two things that were like my titles. Um, so yeah, then I moved to Boulder and yeah, then that's when God told me that's one of my niches is help people with true love. And the other niche was like celebrities. So yeah, so I started helping you guys with true love and I saw the same patterns over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Some people had success stories, some people didn't. I interviewed everybody that I ever met that's had any kind of relationship long term, and I asked them what was it that made it stick, what made it successful, what. Yeah, and I've interviewed like a million people, it seems like, and I've talked to like so many couples that this whole true love journey is like totally cookie cutter. They do eventually like mature both on both parts, the divine feminines. They start to get past the whole abandonment thing. They stop putting themselves down and thinking they're silly to love somebody like that. They'll oftentimes feel like a fool that they fell for the divine masculine and that he ended up doing what they do. And a lot of times these divine masculines end up going after karmics like I did. And so this pattern just goes and goes and goes, and you can see it every single time. And you're just like, oh, they're about to, with as much as they're him and Han, they're about to go out with a karmic and they're about to like get tempted by the Jezebel. Here we go. So I guess that new guy was my Jezebel, putting things in perspective. But then when I got to be on the divine feminine side of things, it was then about like meeting these incredible guys and having them run away, having them run away because they didn't feel worthy and blah blah blah, all that stuff that I went through with Mo. And the divine masculines, once they say no to the connection, somebody will come in for the divine feminine. So, and over and over and over the cycle goes. If it's that, and I believe that like the twin flame, and here's my theory anyway, this is like an analogy I use, is how they run those marathons with the torch in the Olympics and stuff. So the twin flame, which I had a twin flame before Mo, um The original twin flame was actually before Mo, but I'm not even going to get into that one. And he's actually still alive. But as soon as the masculine says, no, I will not be with you, I only want to be friends, or anything like that, or they push you back, or they go out with a karmic or something like that, they choose the ego path. Basically, they choose the ego, which I did when I was a masculine. I chose the ego over my heart. Lesson learned. And going back to that, this is what I want to convey to the masculines, especially, is I would never have gotten married. I would, if I could go back and talk to myself, I'd shake myself. I'd be like, go down and talk to Mo at the bar right now. Right now. You have to go find out that whole situation first and compare it to what's happening here. You've got to take a good look and hear it all out to make your decision. But I did not do that. And that was my biggest mistake, is I didn't find it all out. If I would have found it all out, I would have picked Mo for sure. If he was honest, if he would have, it takes both people to be totally honest about how they feel. Anyway, so the original twin flame has the torch. They're running along, and then they get an invitation by God saying, "Here is your feminine," and the feminine says, "I like you. I like you." And they say, "No, I don't want to get burned like that. You're too good to be true. I'm scared. I want to go after what's familiar, or what my family will approve of, or what, this prearranged marriage my family has for me over here, or what my business colleagues will be okay with, or what will be within my blah, 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 my type, or whatever." And they go, if they go pick the ego, God gives them a choice: pick with your heart or pick from your ego. If you pick the ego, the divine feminines get another suitor. And like I said, over and over again. So, that's why I have so many suitors. It's because they all tell me no. They all say no. They all pick a karmic. They all go out with their they all pick their ego, damn it. But that's okay, because I'm ultimately going to end up with the perfect person for me somehow, and that person is not going to run away anymore. No more running away. But it's been like a really, really, really long time. But I am happy to hold out. I am happy to be at peace, and I treat myself very well. I am kind to myself. I am loving to myself. And that's the whole objective. And I don't care if I'm alone for the rest of my life. I am happy being alone. And I think that's where all the divine feminines have to get to, where they don't care anymore. They're not like obsessed with having somebody in their life or having a partner. They know you come to a certain point where it's a crapshoot. You can be, that you're going to be happy if you're by yourself. If you've figured out how to be by yourself, and you're loving to yourself, and you're kind to yourself and all that, and you know how to take good care of yourself, that's a guaranteed thing. Although, it is easier in some ways having a partner help you make decisions and be there for you, and the comfort and support and the love and all that, which you can end up getting from friends. Yes. But when you get into a relationship with somebody, there are all kinds of problems that you take on their ego. You don't know what's going to trigger them and get them mad. You don't know if they're going to enhance your life or if they're going to make it a bigger problem. And then you have the whole thing of like, how do I leave them if they're treating me like crap? So that whole thing about marry somebody that would be nice to you in a divorce, I think that is one of the best pieces of advice. Not that you're anticipating you would get a divorce, but somebody that you could actually see being nice to you and even generous with you in a divorce, that's the one you want. Why? Because they're kind, because they're loving, and that's what you're looking for. So everybody's objective needs to be to find somebody that is their heart, that's their total heart, that they can absolutely be 100% of themselves with. And both of you need to be to a point where you have conquered a lot of your ego. So the ego can be bad habits. Pornography is terrible for relationships. Drinking too much, All the people pleasing stuff, doing what everybody else wants you to do instead of what truly is authentic for you, what you truly want for yourself. Those are the biggest ones that are usually there, but it can be so many different things. And age difference and nationality and color and all that stuff, that just afraid to be shamed by people as you walk by on the street, or, God forbid, and nowadays, now we've got people who, believe in pharmaceuticals and those that don't. There's more division than ever. Anyway, that was my journey with a karmic, having chose a karmic and being stupid and not actually, finding out more information by the one who actually loved me for who I was, wasn't trying to make me into something that he wanted me to be necessarily. Well, the new guy really didn't do that either, but they do that a lot. Karmics usually want to shape and mold you into what they want you to be. And he really didn't do that, but he did torture me. He did really torture me pretty bad. And he was very controlling and would get upset like over the stupidest stuff. He had no sense of humor. So anyway, masculines who are watching this, you really like learn from my lesson. Like, because you can marry that person, you could be with them for however many years, and you can get all the pats on the back, all the accolades for being with, somebody with I don't know, some type of title that impresses your family, or they're of the same religion, or they're all the other baloney. But in your heart of hearts, you don't believe in whatever that is anyway. You don't believe in the stringent rules and the tyranny and the have to's and the abide by blah blah anyway. So it's time for everybody to just get real and get authentic and be honest with themselves, really. I mean, that's what the masculines have to come to, and the feminines need to stop putting themselves down, that the masculines choose other things, that they choose their ego. They choose wanting to look good, and they choose wanting money. They choose wanting, all these other things, other than something that would totally nurture their heart and soul and would bring them all the other stuff too. Because when you're happy with somebody and you're lit up and you go towards what God's trying to give you as his very gift, things work out for you incredible. Then you will end up, it's so crazy because these true love couples end up being these incredible power couples who do amazing, amazing things and end up getting all those accolades, and you don't even want them or need them. And you get all the attention and you get all the stuff that you thought that you wanted with the karmic, you end up getting with the true love if you pick the true love, and it's authentic. Then it's not fake and nobody having to pretend that they're something that they're not or anything. So just everybody watching this, be honest with yourself. And the number one thing you need to look for in a partner is kindness. Is the person kind? And do they make fun of you behind your back? Do they roll their eyes about who you are? Or do they totally defend you and talk about you like they have so much respect for you, it's unbelievable? You want somebody who totally respects you, meaning they're not going to screw it up and do something stupid. They're going to hold their tongue and they're going to talk to you in an appropriate, supportive, compassionate way, because they do not want to mess it up. They are going to put their very best foot forward, and they're going to take a look at their ego, and they're going to apologize and all the things that are necessary for a good, healthy, mature relationship. So hold out, because I've done it for a really long time. I've held out by myself for a really, really long time, and I figured out how to take care of myself and do all the things that guys do for their girls. I've figured out how to do all of it because I had to, because I had no choice. And I've learned to, and I'm really proud of myself for some of the things I've learned to do, really proud of myself. And no, I don't have the strength some of these guys have. I can't hold wiring up while I'm trying to staple it. I can't like hold it all as like, I don't have those arms to be able to make it all tight and nice and staple it to where it looks like a professional job. But damn, I'll get the wire up and it'll be sturdy. You know, you have to improvise. So, don't think that some kind of relationship is going to make you a whole person, because it could very well be that if you pick the wrong person for the wrong reasons, you're going to end up with a whole hell of a lot of hell and a whole hell of a lot of problems and a whole hell of a lot of arguments and a whole hell of a lot of strife and a whole hell of a lot of lessons. If you really want the real deal, either be by yourself and learn to really love yourself unconditionally, and or find a partner who can do that with you, who wants to grow with you and be mature with you, and isn't going to have that attitude that Mo had, like, set the books in front of me and I'll study every one of them. Somebody who's totally determined to make it work, and to look at themselves and look at their own shadows and not get defensive and jump to conclusions and and act crazy and act like it's all your fault and gaslight you and all that other nonsense. So I hope this helps. I hope one aspect, or maybe all of it, of sharing this with you kind of gives you some insights into the difference between like true love and karmics. And yeah, it's really all about getting honest and authentic. So whatever you got to do to get honest and authentic with yourself, there's a really good book. I think her name is Susan Campbell, called Getting Real, that really helps you to get down to it, and stop people pleasing and stuff. Yeah, because if you're people pleasing, you're going to ruin your relationship, guaranteed. You've got to be willing to have good, healthy boundaries, and you got to be willing to get real with people and tell them what you really think of them. Even if you don't have to necessarily tell people what you really think of them, but you got to be willing to be honest with people, and you have to be willing to, have those boundaries and say, that's toxic behavior over there, so I'm going to limit my exposure to that. Just taking care of yourself and not falling for people's lies and things like that. Is there anything else, God, that you want me to talk about here? Yes. Let me pause for a minute and just see, because I hate when I make these videos and I think about it later. Oh, I should have said this. So hang on just a minute. Of course. The thing I forgot was a blessing. Okay. I do forget those sometimes. All right. So I'm going to do a blessing because that the black magic, the Nefarians, the dark forces out there, they are definitely not wanting these good couples to come together. They want the toxic people to be together. That's why all the songs on the radio make you feel those toxic feelings. And that's why everybody believes I've been abandoned. It's because they picked the prettier person. And that's why all the feminists feel abandoned and feel bad about themselves. That's why the masculines don't feel worthy. All of it is black magic. If you don't know about that, go watch my video, Know Thyself. You will thank me. So I'm going to do a blessing for everybody in the whole world, whether you're the feminine or the masculine, to help you stop those nonsense stories. You are worthy. You are absolutely worthy. And he didn't pick that other person because you're any less of a person. He picked that other person because you're better. Because he didn't think he was worthy of you. Honestly. I've seen it. I know it. Yeah, it's no. Hands down. So whatever insecurities it brings up for you to be in your true love situation, it is Satan. Trust me, it's the dark forces. So don't listen to those stupid voices, and go be honest with somebody, and go get authentic, get real with yourself, and know what you truly, truly want, and go find somebody kind, or be with that kind person that you don't think that you deserve. There. And if you're the feminine, then just let it all go and don't care. just work on your personal development and your own spiritual path and becoming the best possible version of yourself possible. Whether you're going to be with somebody or not, doesn't matter at all. Put that out of your head. Put it out of your head. And eventually, if it's meant to be, you will find somebody who's absolutely perfect for you. Okay. Not a perfect person, but perfect for you. Somebody who will actually cooperate with you, be like a team with you. That's what you want. That's the power couples they're trying not to have happen. Okay. So, all right. Hepema shishin shehela ala heke hena asan se puha a. Huala hashen she kari sa se. Hala puhuma na triki sa sehela shishin chehu puhuma na trina sa sehela ahena aikehena ajen. Shishi puhuma okrina tehi sa se na ai ela an. Puhuma shishin chehela ain. I la puhuma achen na tariki ain. Everybody just get honest with yourselves, get honest with each other, and come together. Those with good hearts. Cut through all the baloney, all of the nonsense you've been told, all the stuff you've been taught, all of it, throw it all out the window. And I just got like some of the masculines feel so bad for what they've done that they don't think that they should deserve forgiveness. That's also the devil. We should make a new name for that. But that seriously, that's black magic too. So whether it's collective or general, or if it's like directed at you to keep you from being happy, whatever it is, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Seriously, go make it right. All you have to do is go make it right by the person, whether they'll be with you or not. I am so sorry I treated you like that. Here, let me do something special for you, because you deserve to be made special after all that bullshit. Go do that. Let go of an outcome. That's what real love does. Okay? Go make it right. That's what you do. If you're in those shoes, go make it right. You don't just bury your head in the sand for the rest of your life regretting it. That's ridiculous. That's the stuff that causes cancer. That's what'll kill you earlier than your age. Than it would have otherwise. You got to get stuff off your shoulders. You have to have a good laugh. You have to have a good cry with people. Don't let anything fester. If you've learned anything from my story, do not let questions go unanswered. Do not let things linger or fester that you don't have the answers on. Get everything resolved, guys. Get everything, make peace with everything, get everything resolved. Forgive people. And also know that these masculines, when they come back, they are capable of changing. They really are. I've heard stories. So I haven't seen it, but I've heard stories that these masculines, sometimes when they come to you and they come to you right, it's like incredible. Like they are just all of a sudden a whole new man or woman. So, you should listen to them. If they come back and they want to plead their case and they want to tell you, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to be with that person. And yes, you can get over that original twin flame or whatever. You can get over them with the new person. And once you totally put all your heart into the new person that you're going to be with, whoever that is, whether it's somebody from the past or not, once you can do that and you totally commit to it, I have heard people, I've talked to people through these years that I've been doing this, that have said that the synchronicities and signs and things, they do drop off. You do get over them. As I'm talking to the divine feminines, the divine masculines, they don't get over their divine feminines. I'm telling you guys wonder if they do, but I've talked to a million divine masculines and they will all tell you, I did not get over that person. I will never get over that. That's always the one that got away. But it's the opposite for the feminines. not the females, but the feminines, because the feminines, they have evolved, and they have like, they're just like the egg, and the, suitors are the sperm. So they get to kind of pick and choose, but they gotta pick right. Both people have to pick right, obviously. But I'm just saying, you can get over your the one that you were so in love with all these years. Just because you were so in love with them for so long and had such an incredible connection with them does not mean they're the person for you. If they're not treating you right and they're not choosing you, and they're choosing to spend their time with the karmic or whatever they're choosing to do instead of you, they are not your person yet. Okay? You may have had a wonderful, incredible connection, but don't, until somebody actually shows up at your door or gives you that heartfelt phone call and opens up their heart, or something profound, or something like that moves forward, that moves you guys forward. Don't even, try not to put too much of, just wait till there's something real. Just wait till there's something real to put that much into it. Otherwise, it's like so many feminines get so brokenhearted by their masculines choosing a karmic. And it's always for a really stupid reason. So please don't put yourselves down, feminines, if your masculines have done that. My latest masculine just did that. He just proposed to somebody. And I know it's totally fake and stupid. I don't care. It's fine. He can have her. I really could care less. I'll always love him. I love him just like I have the others who've come and gone. So, I'm going to be with the right person when the time is right, in just the right way. And he's going to be perfect for me. So, yeah. So don't take it personally. Don't think it's about you. I know he loves me. He loves me more than he'll ever love anybody in his entire life. Guaranteed. You get him drunk and he tells you the truth, he will tell you he loves me hands down more than anybody ever. I'm serious. I'm 100% confident about that. So don't be insulted if your person picks somebody else. Just don't take it personally. Please don't do that to yourself, because it's just not true. I have had these masculines cry to me, and they've told me everything. So trust me, guys, I've been doing this for so many years, and I've talked to the masculines very thoroughly, and I've talked to the feminines very thoroughly. I know both sides of the story like you can't believe. And like I just told you, I've been the divine masculine. I've been in those shoes. Some of you have too. And now I'm on the divine feminine shoes, and I'd rather be over here. Even though it's a very solitude, it's very, what do you call it? Like, I'm in solitude in a way. Again, you got to watch my December Great Awakening video to learn about that. But those who are in solitude right now, they're the chosen ones. We're being refined by God. There could be nothing better than that at a time like the Great Awakening. So be proud of yourself, and be proud of your virtue. Be proud of your purity. Be proud that you're not out sleeping around with people, that you're picky, that you are waiting for the right person for you, that you're not just giving into temptation all the time like everybody else seems to be sometimes. Just be your best self and get a bunch of cats, whatever you got to do to form a family around yourself and give yourself the love you need. So much love to you guys, sending you a big, big hug, and just take care of yourself through the holidays, and don't let those demons get to you. Don't let them have their way, because they will try to get you to commit suicide. They will try to get you to feel depressed and lonely and all that other stuff. But that's why I always tell you to do Byron Katie's work, or Thank You God for My Misery, or something. You got to be doing actively something to take care of yourself and to love yourself, so that you don't fall for those traps and think that those thoughts are yours, because they're not. Any kind of negative thought towards yourself is not you. That's a demon. That is the dark forces purposely putting that out there to try to make you feel that way, to get you off this planet, or to feed off of your loosh, feed off of your negative energy. Don't let them have it. Do not let them have it, okay? Or call me if you need to, because I'll be here for you. All right. Did I finish my light language? So I feel like drawn to the Mary Magdalene deck. So let me just, hi, hey cutie. Hmm. What you doing, honey buns? Yeah, you're so cute. Yeah, you're so cute. You are so cute. Yeah. Oh, it feels so good, huh, honey? Yeah, it feels so good. You sweetie pie. Okay, I'm gonna have 20 cats. I'm gonna have 20 cats in the next couple of years. The secret. I feel like there's another one. Okay. No, 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 no. Okay, so they're saying to be like a little inquisitive child. Don't assume anything. Just be curious. Like if you're gonna go to talk to your person, um, just be open-hearted, open mind, and be curious. Okay, the secret. Let's see what the secret says. Someone will soon confide in you, and the information they divulge may shock or disturb you. You may feel torn between the loyalties you have for two people, and this creates a dilemma for you. What is the right thing to do? Should you divulge the information or stay silent? In your heart, you will know. Ultimately, you must be true to yourself, for only in doing so can you be true to others. Revealing the truth will definitely cause upheaval, but eventually, as things settle down, your honesty and courage will be appreciated. Don't dwell on feelings of guilt. Express it. Express what is in your heart, for a hidden blessing is in store for all. As a result of the coming events, both you and others will have a sense of relief. There are positive results for all concerned. Um, however, these can only be actualized through your courage and love. So, time to get honest. It's time to get honest. The messenger. I've had the getting jiggy with it song in my head for a while. The messenger. You will soon find yourself shining brightly, and as such, you attract much admiration and attention from others. Our universe was born through a superluminous explosion of light. In an instant, it expanded from a tiny point to span billions of light years in every direction. You too are about to experience a rapid expansion, which brings increased recognition in your field of work or study. You will soon be looking over the horizon as you travel to far and distant lands. So maybe the stagnation is over, guys. Be grateful for all the new experiences that are about to come your way and for all that you accomplish. Enjoy each moment, yet remain humble and grateful, for in doing so, you will attract even greater support from others. You are a beacon of light and hope, a source of great inspiration for many who cross your path. Go forth in love and light. So just remember, you are a chosen one in solitude, being refined right now because you have an incredible purpose during this time of the Great Awakening. And even though it's a little frightening to be by yourself at a time when you find out that the whole world is collaborating against you, but but look at the warrior you're becoming. Look at how strong you are. And that's what you put your attention and focus on. You are developing that like ironclad faith, ironclad beliefs that are supportive. Think how strong you'll be when you're with somebody finally, right? So much, much love to you guys. A big giant hug. And thank you for listening. And please share this with somebody you think could really use it. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.